Hi there, my name is Art, and I publish newspapers and magazines, but what's more important is I teach people to publish newspapers and magazines. Since 2009, I taught over 500 people to go into this business of printing and publishing their own newspapers and magazines. Usually all color, and you can see this one is all color, and if you notice, it's all advertising. Everything in the paper I make money on. This is one of my papers called the Discount Clipper. Here's another one of my papers. Here's one of my tabloids. This is my sample paper, which I supply to the publishers. Helps you to sell the advertising. I'll go into this paper in depth in a little while. Here's another one of my papers. Here's another one of my papers. Every paper I ever printed, I make money on. Here's another one of my papers. Here's a paper from one of my recent students. And here's another paper from one of my recent students. Anyhow, over the last few years, I taught over 500 people to publish their own newspapers and magazines. And some of you are familiar with this, Clipper magazine. Basically, you'd be able to publish your own Clipper magazine, and you would be able to compete very favorably with them. Same story with this, the Valpak. You could print little coupons if you wanted, because part of my program is teaching you how to do the bulk mailing, where it costs 17 cents per paper to mail, or envelope if you wanted to do like Valpak. Some of you are familiar with this item, the Coffee News, that one piece of paper. I mean, we're not exactly like that. We're a lot more sophisticated, but the idea is this is also an advertising promotional media product, and it works similarly to mine, which is targeted advertising. This is the Plum mailer. Many of you get this in the mail. Usually they have only national advertisers in it. They don't have the local businesses. And that's what I concentrate on, the local businesses. That's what my publishers make their money on, and that's where I make my money, off the local businesses. Anyhow, every month I print and mail 10,000 magazines and newspapers. This is what it looks like when I put them in the car. I got 8,000 in the trunk, another 2,000 in the back seat. This is what it looks like when I bring it into the post office. I wheel it in the little bins once a month. I pick up the papers, whatever edition it is, once a month. This is one of my sales flyers. And this is why I sell advertising very, very easy. I sell advertising for $100, and I give a business an eighth of a page all color ad, and I mail it to 10,000 homes all surrounding his business. If you went to buy 10,000 business cards from Vistaprint, that costs $650. But I'll mail 10,000 newspapers surrounding your business, give you an eighth of a page full color ad, and charge you just $100, which breaks down to a penny a house. And this is why we have no problem selling advertising. And this is the sample newspaper that's provided to my students. And this newspaper basically sells the advertising for you. There's advertising promotions over here. Lines telling the stores, in other words, at the bottom over here it says direct mail is proven to drive buyer traffic and businesses together. Over here, local deals and specials. talks about the specials, talks about how it's mailed to the homes. This newspaper has an added value because it looks just like a newspaper that you'll find where they're charging money in the newsstand. Doesn't look like a coupon book, looks like a newspaper. The sales pitches are built into this newspaper throughout the newspaper. This is page 2 of the newspaper. At the bottom over here is sales pitches. This is a sales pitch over here. Over here is a sales pitch in the bottom of the guy's ad. So as you're turning the pages of the newspaper, besides showing him advertorials, which will blow him away, you're also, showing him the ads. And he's looking at this, and you're reading this to him. A whole bunch of closes, a whole bunch of benefits of direct mail, and why should he should become part of it. He's not even looking at this. He's looking at this. And you're telling him all this. Plus he's looking at the ads, and he's reading, even at the top of the page, talking about the shelf life. Every page has something on it to help you sell the advertising in your community. Nobody can compete with you. Here's page 4. This is when you get a whole bunch of shops together and they share a page. Down here it says, share the cost as low as $50 per merchant. All around the side, the edges over here, it says, share this with your neighbors, share it with the people on your block. In other words, let's say one strip mall gets together, and you got 10 or 12 guys in the mall, and you get them all to take the page. So it helps you sell a whole strip of businesses. You turn the page again, and you got more advertising. This is page 5. Here you got the advertorial. Any advertorial that the customer reads will blow them away. Once they read the advertorial, they'll ask you, can you do something like that for them? And yes, you can. I'll teach you to do something like that for them. You keep turning the page, and here right in the middle of the page is another sales pitch. There it is in yellow, telling the business owner that our readers will scan your quick read codes and visit your websites. And every ad is beautiful. Every page is gorgeous. There are more sales pitches over here in the middle. Direct mail averages $50 in sales for every dollar invested. So all you have to do is go through the paper with your prospective client. Here it is again. 9 in 10 households respond to offers in the Hometown Informer. And this is a generic paper, so it's good for any city in the world, because everybody's, wherever they live, it's their hometown. So everything in this newspaper is built around hometown, the hometown mall. It's all generic. There's no state addresses in it or no city addresses in it. Over here, you got a half a page devoted to all the sales pitches. The same thing. While you've got this page open and the guy is looking at the ads and looking at the advertorials, you're busy reading to him all these dozens of benefits and reasons why he should be in the paper. Then we have a lot of pages where this is an advertorial and it's about the same business at the bottom. And this here is an advertorial written by a customer of the construction company. And so when you put the two ads together, it adds credibility to the advertorial, which looks like a review from one of the guy's customers. Now the advertorials, there's a lot of reasons why they're so good. Here's another page. And again, they love this. Again, it does the selling for you. And even on the back cover, at the bottom, is sales pitches, the bottoms of these two ads. So there isn't a page that you turn in this sample magazine that doesn't do the selling for you. It took me 6 months to make that sample magazine. and to make it perfect, and to make it with the purpose of making advertising easy to sell even for the worst salespeople. Now, the premise of this business is targeted mail. What happens is you'll target the mail toward, let's just say, a particular zip code. And let's just say there's 10,000 homes in that zip code. Along with the 10,000 homes is going to be 1,000 businesses. You go into the business and you show them your sample paper. And you tell them, listen, I'm going to be mailing this paper. I just bought a franchise. I'm going to be mailing this paper to 10,000 homes, all in this zip code. Our zip code, your zip code. I'm going to have an eighth of a page, full color ad, just like this. And it's going to cost you $100. $100. I'm going to send it to 10,000 homes. That breaks down to a penny a house. There's 3 people in a house. Would you have any interest in reaching everybody surrounding the business for a penny a house with a full color ad? And everybody says, yeah. You'll have no competition. Basically, all those businesses I showed you early on, the Clipper magazine, the Valpak, the Coffee News, the Plum Rose, I chased them all out of town. I got all my customers from all those other medias and signed on their customers because nobody could compete with me. Because this is not a franchise. You're going to be buying your papers directly from the newspaper printer. You're not going to have any expenses. You're not going to have any royalties. You're not going to have any overhead. You do this business out of your house. So another thing is, none of those vehicles that I just mentioned do advertorials. And advertorials is what's going to separate you from your competition. I mean, I chased everyone out of business even before I was doing the advertorials, because originally I didn't do advertorials. I just chased everyone out of business because my vehicle was better and my prices were better, and so everyone signed on. But now we have a way for you not only to sign them on, but to sign them on with bigger and more effective ads. Advertorials is a business unto itself. A lot of people are in the business of just writing advertorials. They do them for a lot of different industries, like the medical industry and the restaurants, but an advertorial is good for any business. And an advertorial is proven to be 10 times more effective than regular ad copy. If you Google the word advertorial, you'll be directed to 20 different websites, and they'll all tell you the same thing about how it's 10 times more effective. They'll break it down for you and show you this ad copy got 50 responses. Then they'll show you the same ad copy in an advertorial style and it got 500 responses. What happens is, the advertorial, you have more room to explain the item, to sell the item. It seems like it's not an ad. So the idea is they're reading it and they're being sold something and they don't even realize they're being sold. But anyhow, the advertorials encourage the customer to take a bigger ad, because you need a bigger ad to do an advertorial. And when they read any of the advertorials in this sample newspaper, like I say, they're my best advertorials over years. They'll be blown away. And they're going to ask you, can you do this for me? And you'll be able to do it for them. I'll teach you how to do it to them. So, but the idea is, the advertorials, nobody can compete with you. And then a lot of times you'll be able to sell a customer an advertorial along with regular ad copy, because that adds credibility to the advertorial. When they see the regular ad, they understand this is the guy's ad. But when they see above it the advertorial, and it says by staff writer, and it's written up basically like a review, they feel it's a review. Or a lot of the advertorials are written by supposed customers, people that have went to the business, have eaten at the restaurant, have worked with the contractor. So it seems more like a review than an ad. Anyhow, the way this business works is when you sell out your papers, your 12 pages, which is the least you want to do, you sell out your 12 pages, you'll take in about $10,000 in revenue. It cost $3,000 to print and mail the 10,000 papers. So you'll make $7,000 off the paper. But a lot of times I was selling the businesses additional products. In other words, after I got to know them a little, after the first and second issue, I would sell them signs, I would sell them banners, I would sell them table tents, I would sell them all different kind of advertising products that all had to do with design. Once I teach you to design, it doesn't matter what you're going to be designing. And a lot of the publishers that I work with, they don't all publish discount coupon kind of magazines. Many of the publishers I teach, they publish mugshot papers, they publish tourist books, they publish golf magazines, they publish real estate books like Homes and Land. You could publish any kind of magazine. You could publish any kind of newspaper. You could publish any kind of vehicle. Some of my students even get paid to distribute the product, such as the ones doing the mugshot papers. They give a grocery store a bundle of 100 papers. They're pre-priced $1.50. They go back at the end of the month. There's no papers left. And what happens, the storekeeper gives you $100 for the 100 papers you left him there, and he made 50 cents on every paper he sold. Meanwhile, it cost you 13 cents to print each of these 12-page papers. I teach you how to get your paper printed. I teach you design. I teach you how to lay out the paper. And you go into this business with no money, because when you're going around to the businesses, you're going to collect a 50% deposit. And that 50% deposit is going to cover your printing and your mailing costs. So basically, you're going to go into business for free. Now, my services cost money. I teach my students one-on-one via the Skype when we're both looking at the same computer program at the same time. Anyhow, my program costs $1,995. It consists of a 12-hour one-on-one tutelage. It consists of a 25-page manual, which covers everything that we cover, on the Skype. Getting the printers, I got listings of printers, how to do the ads, how to write an advertorial, on and on and on. Anyhow, you get the manual, you get the software, you get the one-on-one help. There isn't anything you're going to have a problem doing, because I've done it all 10 times over, and anything you have a problem, I'll help you with. Phone answers in my house. We don't want anyone torturing us, so we're going to do our best, the best we can, to make sure you're successful. We can't go visiting the customers for you, but that's something that you have to do. I mean, you want to have a business and you want to make a good living. Some of my publishers are now publishing 4 or 5 different medias and making a fortune. One guy, his first publication was a copy of an Auto Trader, and it was 64 pages. And so some of my publishers really make a lot of money. I was doing my newspaper in North Carolina, very rural area, and so there wasn't a lot of business there. And when I got into this business, I was retired already, so I didn't want to work too hard. I collected a bunch of customers over the first 3 months, and then I didn't even look for any more. I just went around and collected checks. My plan is proven, it's perfected, and even in the beginning, when you go out to sell advertising and you're visiting the businesses, they're all going to have interest, because you're going to give everyone the same story. Listen, I'm going to be I bought a franchise just like this. I'm going to be sending out a paper to everyone surrounding the business, everyone in this zip code. I'm going to be having 1/8 of a page, full color ads. for $100. That's a penny a house. It costs half the price of a business card, and we're going to deliver it in the mailbox. Do you think you'd have interest? Everybody will have interest. Everybody will talk to you. Then you talk to them, you figure out what they want in the ad, you make the notes, you take a couple of pictures at the business, and you make up the ad, and whatever you make up, I'll tweak it for you. When you go back to the business, I'll make sure that he accepts your advertising. And when you go to the business, you're going to look credible. Forgive me, I have a cold. You're going to have a beautiful sample. You're going to have a beautiful presentation book, and it's going to have a map of wherever you're going to be mailing your paper. It's going to have the postal routes. It's going to look professional. You're going to look ready. You're going to know what you're talking about. And you're going to get him to sign on. And you're going to make a successful business without any overhead, without any franchise fees, without any inventory, and without any skills. As long as you could download a photograph from your camera to your computer, I can teach you to do the paper. Now, I managed to be successful in the Carolinas, and I'm a Northerner. I'm a Yankee, and that's what they called me. Half the businesses down there wouldn't even talk to me. They hated me. They hated the Yankee. They don't like the Northerners in North and South Carolina. They hated us. But anyhow, even though half the businesses wouldn't talk to me, I still was extremely successful. And I did it in an area where I had to travel 40 miles just to reach 30,000 homeowners. Now I'm back in New York. I got 30,000 homeowners in this one zip code right within a half a mile of my house. I'm not doing a paper here. I'm too busy training students lately, but the idea is some marketplaces are just tremendous, and it's so easy to do this business. Also, there's no restrictions. You can have as many papers as you want. You can do a tourist guide, a restaurant guide, as well as a coupon book in your own area. And everything I'll help you with step by step. We do it on the Skype. First night that we're on the Skype, we'll make an ad together. Then you'll make your own ad. Then I'll correct it for you right on the Skype. You'll see me doing it on the computer with a feature called shared screen. And if you went to buy a graphic artist course online, that cost $5,000. But when I'm done with you, you're going to be a graphic artist. And you're going to have a business. And there's no limit on the potential of what you can do with this business. It's all up to you. It's all if you want to work or not. I give you all the tools. I give you everything you need. The only thing you have to do is visit the businesses and tell them what you're doing. And turn pages, because now you don't even have to be a salesperson. This program is all inclusive. If it's not for you, tell someone you know, someone you love who wants to go into business without a big investment. The skills are going to last you a lifetime. If you visit my website, there's a category there where you can start for free. In other words, read the instructions. It tells you how to get started for free. It'll determine if you could do this business or not, if you're suited for this business or not. But before you spend a life, if you're watching this on YouTube, click anywhere on the screen and it'll take you to my website. If you're on my website, make sure you look at the start for free and then follow the instructions, and you'll be able to determine if this is something you want to do or not. Now I'm available to train students practically 24/7 because I'm currently training students in Canada, England, Ireland, Scotland, and naturally, mostly in the USA. But I know California's 3-hour time, so I know everyone's time thing, and I'm retired, so I work at whatever schedule is good for the students. But keep in mind, we usually work 2 hours at a block. But for every hour that I work with you one-on-one on the Skype, you will have to spend 3 hours practicing the skills that I taught you. Just like when you go to college. You go to college and you take the class for an hour. Then the guy gives you 4 hours of homework where you got to read half a book and, fill out an essay. It's no different from that. I can't do all the work with you, and I can't stay on the Skype with you forever. So I teach you everything, and then you have to practice it a little bit. You know what I mean? It's not difficult, but if you have no time and you're working a 60-hour work week, I don't know how good you're going to be at this business. You need to have a little bit of time to at least, learn the business, and naturally you're going to need a little time to go call on the local businesses. Anyhow, if you've been waiting for a business opportunity that can succeed anywhere, in any city in the world, this is it. No expenses, no overhead, no investment. The program is all inclusive. You get my personal tutelage. You get the software, the same software I use to make all my newspapers and magazines. I teach you everything there is to know. I teach you how to sell. I give you the sample papers. I send you the manual. I even help with your ads in the beginning. So this is truly an all-inclusive program. So don't be a stranger. Call me up. The number's on the website. And if you call me up, I will look up your zip code. I will tell you how many homes and businesses there are in your zip code. And I will tell you what I would do as a business plan. Whether I would work that one zip code, whether I might need to incorporate a second zip code. So don't be a stranger. I'll be glad to do that for you for free. Anyhow, if you feel this is not for you, tell someone that you love about this business. Share this opportunity because it's a legitimate business opportunity. It's better than anything out there, there's no systems here. There's no click. There's no making money when you're sleeping. I mean, the closest you can get to that is I used to get a lot of customers by emailing my flyer to the skilled trades people on the Craigslist. But I only did that at night when I had spare time, Other than that, I was visiting the businesses, and not for a lot of time, 4 hours a day was all I needed. And then after the first 3 months, I didn't have to visit anybody. They were all signed on already. So don't be a stranger. If you have any questions, I have the answers. Call me up. Hopefully I'll be hearing from you, and hopefully we'll be working together. And thanks for your time today. Bye.